because the correspondences are there in the office of the Secretary to the federal government. Any person who wants to go and have access to the records to read, let him go out there and read. You see where, after collecting the revenue, you write the King of England, I have collected so from Jangali. I want the balance of so for my capital and recurrent expenditure. And that is what happened until around 1914, when other sources of revenue, including tax, groundnuts, hides and skin, and others, became a source of revenue for funding government. So, and the injustice on the Fulani man started since then. And what is that injustice? Taxation is on profit, not capital. The nage itself, that is the cattle, is the capital. So they were paying tax on capital, not tax on profit. So you can see the so-called, to quote Opabio, the gun-carrying Fulani, had his setback right from day one. But that time he never carried AK-47. So, and this thing continued. And of course, you can see their experience has been very bitter. Some of them are arrested by police for doing nothing, and they are told to sell their cattle to be released. Some of them, the alkalis, and so on and so forth. But to be fair, the white man established cattle routes and grazing reserves all over Nigeria. These cattle reserves, cattle reserves, and then routes are there gazetted as official documents, and they remain so. But we all know this veterinary research firm was established because of them, for their cattle, because the cattle had to be well before they can impose tax on them. So they kept them, and they kept them on their transhumance, traversing from north to south, north to south. But not until much, much later, when Abuja started as a federal capital, almost all the northern Fulani herders ended their journey in Abuja. That's during the dry season. This is where they come and spend the dry season because there is sufficient fodder and also there is sufficient water before they go back to the northern part of the country. But with Abuja, almost the whole of them went south. Because the stories of the deprivation of the Fulani is just a very pathetic story.
On that
and of course, since independence, they have been serving as the only means of protein for the country. They move up and down. The government is seeing them. Government has intervened in agriculture, clearing fields for planting, like NALDA. They buy fertilizer, they buy this, they buy that, but not animal husbandry. So this unfortunate professional group were left on their own. Well, so it is appropriate now that government has come to, hello, I'm just...
So normally, I would expect Abati and Co. to ask him a question and say, Mr. Yuguda, you were 8 years governor in Bauchi State, one of the states known to have Fulanis. What did you do to help ameliorate all these things, right? Because now it is more profitable to have all of your cows in a place and you make more profit. Instead of sitting, it's seated there like a cow in Agbada and feeling so entitled. It was the Fulani money that kickstarted the economy of Nigeria. Like, I don't even know how to feel. Whether to feel angry, feel insulted, or just laugh, ha 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 ha. Like, you could feed yourself. if your money was feeding Nigeria, which is not true. Now, you could possibly just feed yourselves by just keeping your cows in your own ranch that you paid for. Why should we give you land? Because you want to give us cow. We can buy meat, we can rear our own cows. Why should the source of other food be destroyed? Because Lugard used the cow money or cow tax to kickstart Nigerian economy. How ridiculous. But there is a follow-up. Listen to this.
We must make mention that this is not just didn't start now. It's a way, and some people in the Senate will get up and tell you, but it's a way of life. How do you change? No. It was a way of life for us to kill twins. It was also a way of life for us to bury
so there's got to be some
people.
kind of
so
change.
there must have to be
Evolutionary change.
It's an evolutionary change, and that comes with education.
Right.
So where the real problem is rather than us struggling to make sure that everybody has education, everybody has a change, everybody moves with the new things today. Some people want to leave some citizens to stay, let them just stay where they are as illiterate, uneducated, herders roaming around and killing people.
Yeah, but the point is that there are different types of education. There's obviously the education where you go to school and start learning your ABCs from the very start up to the end. There's the other form of education, which is educating people about this new ranching proposal. Is there going to be a period of consultation? Because you're not going to educate those people. You're not going to put them through school, but you can educate them, those people who are most likely to be affected by this new ranching proposal. Because the herders, for instance, who, as you've said, are uneducated, they're suspicious of authority, they need to be convinced, as do the farmers who are worried about their land and farms.
Why would they not be? If we suppose all the people who say we are elite, we tell people what to do. If you can tell somebody what to do in elections and say vote for A or B or C, why will you not be able to tell them how to improve their lives? In fact, it's very funny that they themselves, some of my colleagues will tell you that, that the Nigerian cow, that the yield from milk is so low and all that, but that the yield from the one that is in an environment that is this, and that the meat is more tender, is bigger and all that. They will tell you all this, but the point is, why don't you want to do it? Why do you want another citizen to be a second-class citizen?
Well, the point here really, Senator, is that if there, I'm wondering whether along with this proposed ranching bill, there is an education component.
Obviously. The point really is that everything is encompassed within it. All it takes is the willingness to do it. And of course, we have said that since the bill has passed the second reading, so it's going to go to the point where everybody will be invited. So we invite Mieti Allah. We invite the Nigerian Farmers Association from each state and all that. We invite each governor because they also have a role to play. Then, when everyone is there, what are the issues that we will now have to deal with? It's just for us to be able to talk to each other with an open mind.
So there's still a long process.
Of course, there's a process that we must have to pass through. But what we don't want is a situation where whenever the matter comes up, all manners of obstacles are put on the way to make sure that Nigerians will continue to be at each other's throat, and non-Nigerians are coming in and killing Nigerians and taking over their land, because that is another subset of the problem. Of course, it's a problem that everybody is looking at and people are avoiding to talk about it. We cannot avoid to talk about it. Whole villages, areas of the plateau, of the Benue, and even stretching all the way now to Enugu State, down to my own state in Abia. Why? Would somebody come and say, we're just going to let our cows to graze, and if you complain, they kill you because they have the high-powered rifles which the farmer doesn't. We must make mention.
That's the follow-up. And that is also his argument. However, behind that same bill, which we believe is a Ruga in disguise, here is what we found. The reason why the Fulani North, that will never, I'm talking about their political leaders, so they will never invest a dime, okay? 25 years ago, when the military left, some people thought they were going to have a small London by now. Nigeria was going to be a great country. 25 years after the military, in this demonstration of grace, we are discussing the right of cows. If the cows should be in the ranch, or if the cows should be roaming. So the reason why these northern rogues don't want the bill is that even though it sounds like every state must give land, but inside that bill, it says the land must come from the state where the Fulanis come from. So you as a Fulani, you can't say you're a Fulani from Oyo. It's impossible. Or you're a Fulani from Enugu. No way. So you'd have to go back to Sokoto. And what is wrong in that? So they're asking them to say, no, every state must give land. And even when they told them that, okay, yeah, we can make it law that every state must give land, they believe that it is a deceit to deceive them, because the land in Nigeria is controlled by states and by expectation. The state from southern Nigeria, as mad as some of the governors are, they are still afraid to give any piece of land for Ruga. So these Fulani guys believe that if they were deceived into supporting it, number one, it will become very much official for every state to go after these terrorists, just using that law alone. No to open grazing. Now, if they kind of come after these terrorists under that law, so they may claim and say, well, you didn't give us ranching. Ranches. They'll say, did you buy one? Did you buy land? Or did you offer to buy land and you are not sold? So they believe that these southern guys, they are plotting something to lure them. So to them, no, we don't care. Even if the bill says they should give us land, we don't trust you. No, we don't care. So we'll shut it down. So they're after that. There are many things to shut down, because you see this talk about regionalism, regional system in Nigeria is actually gaining its own momentum. While they are waiting to celebrate the 25 years of democracy or demonstration of grace, this pseudo democracy in Nigeria tomorrow, and others are kind of mobilizing to protest against the lawlessness as well as the economic hardship of this regime in Nigeria. Listen, there were those who believed that in their own mind, the easy way out for Nigeria from all of this madness is, number one, to break the desperation for wanting to be president of Nigeria by reducing the term to just a 6-year single term. Okay? And they're already pushing the bill. Now, they talk about regionalism. They talk about creation of new states. They talk about reducing the terms of office for governors and then presidents. All of this, to me, they are pure distractions to make you think maybe there is actually something that can be done to salvage Nigeria and disarm you and kind of make you so engaged over nonsense, and then call, manipulate that, get himself rigged back in, while the rest of you are deluded with some of this distraction, like we are waiting for the new law, we are waiting for these amendments, we are waiting for this regional system, or we are doing a meeting and all of that. They are ready to roll out money. In the coming days and weeks, you are going to begin to see groups talking more about all these things. But for me, it's part of, let's keep them busy, sort of. But I am still going to kind of share that with you because of those things you'll probably be paying attention on in the coming days and weeks. They are pure distractions, and this is why. Here is Ikenga explaining to us why 4-year term will solve Nigeria problem and other things like elections and all. Okay, so I've got that few, just this part and others.
Part of our firm commitment to see a new and working Nigeria, an effective and efficient nation where justice and equity reign supreme. We're a group of over 30 reform-minded lawmakers from different political parties who have come together and committed to ensuring a working Nigeria using legislative instruments within our power to ensure the reduction of cost of governance and campaigns, unite our country, ensure a seamless transition and continuity, uninterrupted development, justice, equity, and independence of INEC, including efficient use of state resources, tackling of nepotism and corruption in our electoral process. There is no doubt that our country is in desperate need of a long-lasting solution to our economic situation. Insecurity, disunity, weak institutions, weak healthcare and education sector, and waste of state resources. We have now reached a critical phase where what is at stake is the very survival of Nigeria as one political and economic unit. We must rise to the challenge, and what we do with this opportunity given to us by our people matters a lot. We, the reformers, elected representatives of the people from different political parties and strong like minds, are committed on proving that we are fully capable of managing our affairs together as a nation. Hence, as the first step in our commitment, we are presenting to the public views and proposals which we are pushing on the floor of the 10th Assembly. Most of them have gone through first reading. These bills will touch on every aspect of development in all sectors of our economy and well-being as a nation. These bills, which are 50 in numbers, most of them have gone through first reading. But today, we are starting with public unveiling of 6 of them, while the remaining will come in the weeks ahead. It ranges from governance, economic restructuring, security, justice sector reform, to social bills that will target unifying our nation and ensuring long-lasting peace and national cohesion. The reformers are cognizant of the fact that Nigeria in times past has deliberated on and accepted some of the proposals in the bills. We have presented in several reform processes, including the Wales electoral reform, Ken Namani electoral reform, the Udoji civil service reform, the Confab report, the Obasanjo, Jonathan, IBB and Abacha reform effort, and several others. These works by eminent Nigerians, including lawmakers in the past, have been long abandoned despite the time and resources committed to them. It is time we revisited those reports, adopt some of the silent proposals, and adjust them to fit the current realities. Therefore, the bills presented today will address that proposal. On governance.
So that's Ikenga, but he's not alone. So they want to go and review all reports from Babangida's time to Abacha, to Obasanjo, to Yaradua, Jonathan, to Boko Haram. I don't know. No, Boko Haram didn't have any report. And indeed, they believe that that's going to resolve the Nigeria problems. Okay? I don't like them when they write things and reading them like that, by the way. So here is what other members of, other members of the Reformer, I think they are called the Reformer. Here is what they have to say. Please listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the press, I remain Honorable Dr. Midala Usman Balami. I represent Askira Uba, Howell Federal Constituency from Borno State. Thank you. Just to add to what my colleagues have already said, if you look at the bill we seek to pass, the bill summarizes unity. It talks also about peace and stability of Nigeria. We believe that for any development to happen, we must be united in Nigeria, and Nigeria must be peaceful. And it is on this purpose that we look at it that coming up with a single term, most especially looking at a rotation from the south and from the northern part of Nigeria, it can provide some stability to Nigeria, and we'll be able to work together to enhance development. You will agree with me that we have a lot of young people that have gone through difficulties, schools, and now we have bulk of number of unemployed young people that are out there. We have human potentials in Nigeria. We must harness these potentials. The world is ruled by ideas, and these ideas, we must be able to harness these ideas to be able to trigger and facilitate the development of Nigeria. And that is exactly what we want to tap. We want to ensure that all potential of young people is utilized. That is by providing opportunity for a rotation from the presidency to the governorship and to local government election. Given this full participation, you will understand that people will have roles to play at different levels, and Nigeria will be better off. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. And that is why you see these committed reformers are here to say, let's think differently. Let's do things differently and ensure that Nigeria have a choice. Nigeria have something to say, this is working, this we need to alter it, and we must work together as a team, united, peacefully, and ensure that Nigeria develops. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, my name is Honorable Professor Paul Namchi. I represent the great people of Enugu East and the issues of federal constituency. I am from Enugu State. It's little wonder why I'm here, because I also think I belong to the two arts. I haven't come from the academics into this, the National Assembly. I also want to tell that what we are here doing is to tell the world that our economy, our progress, our good governance is tied to good and effective and transparent election. If we don't have good election, there's no way you can give what you don't have. If you come by bad election, you give us bad election because you want to sustain what you're coming with. The people of the country are tired.
Don't worry, we'll get that. Now, you see them, there's actually one or two more. You should also listen to what they are pushing. I don't know, I just kind of feel like more of these clowns, like the way they were debating national anthem. Why can't these clowns be bold enough, right, to move a motion that is going to include referendum in that their trashy book? I mean, that one is just going to be like a shosh agbasa. Abi, service come to the end. If any of them decide to actually move a real motion, a motion that allows a referendum where everybody will have a chance to actually say, yes, we want to be part of this contraption. I mean, somebody should be bold enough with all of these bills flying left, right, and center. National anthem, new states, which other one? 6-year term. All this nonsense, they are just pure distractions to just keep you talking and busy. And then they can easily have something to say, oh, we will work with you, Lori Iro. We will give you this, so and so, when they can't. You know that.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Stop trying to think you know the solution. Politicians are always there trying to pretend that I have the solution. You don't. The real solution is to ask all of us, at least right now. That's how much consciousness people now have. Let's ask everybody who still want to be part of this contraption, right? Push that kind of bill, and I will build your fan. But listen to the other part.
This